The top dog, I know these niggas all want my position. Cause I'm putting up numbers like a statistician. The king back like LeBron when he returned to Cleveland. Time to spread the bag around, make sure we all eating. Heard some niggas think they got us, guess we all even.
We live in a very sick world. It's really sad. You get to the point where you feel like you really cannot go anywhere. You really cannot trust anyone. Well, let's listen to this story.
Now to the latest on that desperate search in Alabama for a young woman who went missing after leaving a bar with two men and then texting a friend that she was in trouble. Authorities are now offering an award for any information, and Diane Macedo is here with that story. Good morning, Diane. Amy, good morning. Police say they have pursued several leads in this case, but so far none have panned out. Now they're asking for help from patrons of that bar as Houston's family and friends are banding together, holding out hope for her safe return. This morning, the search is intensifying for 29-year-old Peyton Houston, missing now for over a week. Authorities say Houston was last seen 11 days ago leaving this Alabama bar around 10:45 p.m. with two unknown men. Houston's family says shortly after midnight, she then sent an alarming text message to a friend saying she did not know who she was with and that she felt that she was in trouble.
She's always very cautious. I mean, she's just not one to do, you know, something like that, like leave with a random person. Like, that's just not who she is.
Houston's family says since her disappearance, she has not used her bank account and her phone goes straight to voicemail. The governor's office and Crime Stoppers are now offering a $10,000 reward for any information leading to Houston's whereabouts.
She was reported to have left with two largely built black males. We haven't located those persons at this time. We do have a lot of tips that have come in from the public, and we're currently going through those tips in hopes that it'll develop new leads.
Overnight, her community gathered at a vigil to sing songs and say prayers of hope. Family members expressing gratitude for the support pouring in from the community.
This entire state has shown their love, their prayers. We feel that love in the prayers.
And friends keeping strong in their faith that Peyton will soon return.
She has to come home, and she will come home. She just has to be safe.
And police are now urging anyone who was at the bar that night to jog their memories and comb through photos or videos taken. They say sometimes what may seem like a small thing to us can make a big difference in an investigation like this. So they're hoping that someone has some piece there they might not realize that will help them get to the bottom of this.
Yeah, we hope her family and friends get some answers soon.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Diane.
So now that was the beginning of it, but now here's the follow-up.
Developing tonight, the investigation into what happened to Peyton Houston is being led by the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. A 29-year-old woman from Trussville reportedly texted she might be in trouble 2 weeks ago. Tips led law enforcement to her body today. I'm Sherry Jackson. CBS 42 News reporter Tim Reed reports now from Hueytown, where Peyton's remains were found in a shallow grave.
We spoke to some residents tonight who live in this Hueytown neighborhood who were both saddened and shocked to find out that Peyton Houston's body was found buried in a backyard.
And I think it's real sad for the parents. They have to deal with it. I'm a parent myself of 3 kids.
Many in the small community of Hueytown are shocked after police discovered the body of 29-year-old Peyton Houston behind a house in this neighborhood.
That I'm praying for y'all, and that I'm going to keep y'all in my prayers, and that hope everything can get well. I know it's hard losing a daughter.
The coroner and Jefferson County deputies used shovels to dig up the remains from a shallow hole. The body was wrapped in a cloth material. The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office says it's unknown at this time what the cause of Houston's death was.
It's always hard whenever you find remains of a person. It's always hard because there are family members that are attached to those remains. So, and of course, the most thing that a family member would want is to have their missing family member returned to them, but we can't give them that. So the only thing we can do at this point is to try and give them justice.
The 29-year-old was last seen 2 weeks ago at the Tin Roof Bar in Birmingham. According to her mother, Peyton sent a text saying that she didn't know who she was with and that she may be in trouble.
I mean, as a father, I can't imagine what the parents are going through, and to see it on the news for more than you have to, it's got to be damaging. So my prayers go out to them.
So far, no arrests have been made. If you have any information that can help this case, contact the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. In Hueytown, Tim Reed, CBS 42 News, local coverage you can count on.
The friend is saying that it's not like her to just walk off with strangers, pretty much. She's very cautious about things. And I'm going to take the word of that friend. I mean, we could assume that maybe she was drugged or whatnot. But however she left the building with 2 men, of course they mentioned they were black. That's terrible. But at the end of the day, again, I always say, that's not a reflection on an entire race. That's a reflection of those individuals. So we don't know what happened. I'm assuming she got drugged. That's what I'm thinking. And she went on. I mean, the mere fact that she sent that text, she didn't know who she was with and she thought she was in trouble. It was something going on suspicious. We don't know. Now she's deceased. It's crazy, right? Because it's like you can't go anywhere and not be extremely cautious. You need to go out in groups, especially women. I mean, they're all after men too in different ways with the sex trafficking as well. But you know, women are really targets. And so we really need to be making sure that we are not going out alone, especially not to bars, different things, because trouble is lurking. And you add trouble with alcohol, you add even more opportunity. So it's just really unfortunate that these parents will never see their daughter again because some sickos decided that they were going to do whatever they did with her and then get rid of her. We don't know. We can assume. We can assume everything in between, but it's very unclear even to how she even left with these 2 people. But what we do know is we have a friend saying this is not within her character. Then you have the text with her saying she doesn't know who she's with and she thinks she's in trouble. And now you see she is gone. That is sickening. It really is. It's disturbing. It's beyond disturbing to think that, I'm sure when she woke up that day, she didn't say, hey, I'm going to the bar and I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to see my family, my loved ones again. I'm sure that wasn't the plan. When people take your life into their hands and do what they will with it and change the outcome and take you off this planet before you anticipated to leave, it's very disturbing. One thing about it, she did check in with somebody, but we shouldn't be going anywhere alone. Not hanging out. I will tell you, I do go to the grocery store and stuff like that. I don't take my children with me because of all the foolishness that is going on, and it's just easier, and it's sad to have to be that way and feel that way. But it's just easier. I'm not going to any bars and I'm not going to anywhere hanging out at night or evening otherwise by myself. I don't, because it's not safe. I'm not saying I've never done it, but I am saying I try to make sure I'm not rolling solo. In her case, this might have been the one time she decided to roll solo. No one knows. But at the end of the day, she has lost her life. And it's sad. It's sad. Again, we all need to be our brother's keeper. It applies a lot to the African American community because we have been so divided and tearing one another down. We have to refocus and get things together. But everybody in general should be, even though this young woman is not black, we all need to be one another's brother's keeper because this is crazy. It's crazy. We need to find ways to get these sickos off of the street. My condolences goes out to her family. I have experienced loss and it's sad, but I haven't like of a sibling or a child or a parent as of yet. From what I've been told, it's a difficult thing. I mean, I know the person that I did lose was close to me and it was hurtful. I didn't grieve probably as much as I would have if it was a different relation or whatever. It's still hurtful. If I think about it, I do get sad. So loss is not good for anyone. We definitely need to be looking out for one another, loving one another, being kind to one another, because life is fleeting and you never know when it's your time, especially when it comes to these other morons that decide for you. Leave your thoughts in the comments.